the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up!
Well, here we go again with another episode of This is CorbinCenter. I mean, 30 episodes, that's pretty impressive. I really do enjoy it. I love it. And let's give a big Corbinite recognition right off the bat here. Annie, you're going to be the one who gets this. Thank you for being such an awesome friend. I really appreciate you. Again, you're super supportive with the Patreon. You always support my stuff. That alone, plus among other things, earns you the right. So let's go into, we got a lot to talk about, but first there's something that I want to make sure I address really quick. The news broke that obviously Terry Funk passed away, and we all know how influential Terry Funk is to many of us wrestlers. And the other thing too is there's so many people who, while they're familiar with Terry Funk in certain eras, they will never know like the huge library and the great stuff he did. There's just so much to unravel after all the years. I was lucky enough to meet him up at Heavy on Wrestling. That was a great moment for me. I was coming off a knee injury, and him and Mick Foley made it so that wrestling didn't seem like a chore. Wrestling didn't seem like just a job that I was doing. Wrestling, it was fun again. I had a great time. I felt like a kid. Remember, I was an ECW guy too, and that was one of the things I liked about Funk, WCW and ECW, and so like that was great for me. So rest in peace, Terry Funk. You're amazing. There's no words that I could say that isn't being poured out on social media for you. It's just you're the man. Then I also have to kind of go off of this and announce the big news that I dropped on Snapchat. Switching gears here, is I am on Cameo. So if you think the way that I do these videos and you're like, what would he say? He has no filter. Well, I kind of have a filter because I don't say dumb stuff that I have to apologize for. Like, for example, I don't go on like Fox News and say dumb shit about how I'm going to beat my kids, because if they use certain words. I'm not that kind of person because I know that wouldn't reflect properly on a wrestling company. I have a level of professionalism where I can critique the company openly. Sometimes it results in my suspension. I can critique other wrestlers openly, which sometimes results in me being very bloody and going to the hospital. But the one thing's for sure, I never shut up. So if you are worried about maybe telling off your boss, or maybe you just think that I have that charisma that you can't teach, that I could wish somebody in your family a happy birthday, or maybe cushion the blow a little bit. Like, what if you said something like, I crashed my car, or crashed your car. Let's do that. I crashed your car, and you're going to have to get a new car because I totaled it out. But let Darin Corbin do it for you. So yeah, that's a whole new medium. And honestly, I had been waiting a year to get approved, and the funny thing about it, I feel like it's already kind of, I think Cameo is bigger, but you know what? It's still there. It's still an option. It's great. Also, when it comes to social media, look, I'm going to toot my own horn for a second because I don't think I will ever have a tweet as good as what I tweeted. But it's very niche in the sense of if you're around in 1995 and you're familiar with Skilo, I Wish, you would know the tweet. You would absolutely know the tweet. And, again, I said a genie comes out and he says, you are granted 3 wishes. And of course it breaks into Skilo where he's like, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I... And obviously there's more than 3 wishes. And then the genie says, are you okay? Now, that's a great tweet. Like, there are so much negative things. And Twitter, let's face it, is on the way down. Like, I think X marks the spot of that thing dying because I'm trying to find ways to share my videos. Like right now, I know this is on there, but I'm just trying to find ways. YouTube seems evergreen. How can I get my videos out there without having people mess with the algorithms, threatening to unblock people that I just don't want to listen to, that think that they have opinion that's worth matters, or their name is whatever, bunch of numbers, and their profile pic is an egg or whatever it is. I'm done with it, but this tweet, if I go down, I'm going down swinging, and I will stand by it that it's very hard to find a tweet better than that. Especially if you're looking at topical 90s tweets, you'll never find something better than that. What can I say? I top myself. I don't think I'm ever going to do anything better than that. Hands down. That's that. But let's talk about some of the shows that I did. I did the Heritage Park, or Heritage Days at St. Paul Park. Last time St. Paul Park rolled around, I was unable to do it. I couldn't do it at the Broadway rescheduled event from the rain. So this time, what better way to reschedule an event than in 90-degree heat in the middle of the road, and it is blistering freaking hot. But I guess one of the fans helped us cool down because in the opening promo, I came out with Lore and with Jordan. I know, we're going to have a match at Time Bomb. We're going to do whatever. Look, he's a guy that I want on my side, so maybe this would be a false sense of security when we get to Time Bomb. I'll talk about my upcoming schedule. Let's talk about what happened here. We're in the ring. We're running down all these stupid kids, the stupid place, this whole thing. Guy walks up and says, St. Paul Park is the best city in America. Oh my God, what an overstatement that is. And it's not even the best state best city in a 10-mile radius, let alone the best city in this state alone. And I don't have enough time to run down a laundry list why St. Paul Park is not the best city in America. And here's the reason why. Because once he said this line, he threw a whole beer onto Jordan. Rude, disrespectful. I don't even drink, but I know the importance of not wasting a beer. And what kind of precedent does that show to all those kids who should never have been born in the first place? And here you are afterwards trying to like make amends and offering to buy a beer. You're the one who wasted your own beer. You're lucky that Jordan didn't come out there and choke you out, but this guy was old. I mean, let's face it, if he thinks St. Paul Park is the greatest city in America, he'll be happy to die there next week. That's just how that goes. So anyway, Shane Black representing the city of St. Paul Park. Lorben cometh not victorious in this one. The sun actually was the big winner. Me not getting sunburned, also a winner. So I don't really chalk this up as a loss. And I know that here comes the critics. You're on a losing streak. You're on a losing streak. Look, I'm from Minnesota. The Minnesota Twins, they're my favorite baseball team. They go on losing streaks. They lose to people all the time. But then they always pick up those big victories, like when they have to defend championships. And remember, 87-91, just want to remind you, we have more World Series than a lot of people give us credit for. But as a Minnesota sports fan, there's that. So I then go to the 1029 bar. I've done really well at the 1029 bar. I mean, there's no denying that. I am the champion of the 1029 bar, and I wrestled a hard-fought battle against Kyle Pro. Kyle Pro is a great competitor, by the way. I got to give him credit. We have squared off a bunch of times, but he really brought it. And it was just my cunning and my expertise on this show that pulled out the victory. And remember, they only run once a year, so I'm guaranteed to hold this belt for another full year. That's an impressive reign. So I think I defended almost as much as Brock Lesnar did when he first won it back in 2014. I mean, like, right? That's the big thing. And if they want to run another show, maybe I'll defend it. But right now, I have that championship. I'm on a win streak at the 1029 bar. I've won my last 4 matches there. I mean, like, so you can talk about all you want, but don't neglect the details. There's a great crowd there. They saw me pick up the victory. There's a variety of talent there. They saw me pick up the victory. But most importantly, I got to have a lobster roll. And if you follow my Patreon, you know that Darin does dining, and Darin loves it. And I'm probably going to have to do another revisit, even though I've done it once before. I'm going to have to do another one. So, I mean, I love celebrating with a good meal. What can I say? Lobster roll is good. Price went up, but you know what? When you get that amount of lobster, it's worth it. So, there was that. Now, I could talk about what I have coming up this weekend, but for the first time all summer, I do not have any planned wrestling events, and it feels great. My body is happy. My back is rejoicing. My hip is rejoicing. My knee is rejoicing. But I've been running more, so I've been doing that, trying to get a little bit back in shape because we have the Mall of America coming up. Fall isn't going to slow down for me because if you think about it, I returned to freelance wrestling here coming up. I wrestled Dan the Dad. I go to Time Bomb where I fight Jordan because there's no ring here. And I've done a no-ring match before, and I've wrestled Jordan before, and then we beat the crap out of each other in that match. Then we have Balsam Lake, so I go out to Balsam Lake, and then it's Mondo Lucha, where I'm, Turner Hall, this big event, I'm there. So that means I'm missing the Fan Fest, which it's okay. I don't need to see any of you anyway. That's just how that goes. And then, of course, Saturday Night Nitro 2. We're doing the Mall of America. I heard somebody call this show a failure. Somebody said that the Mall of America show is a failure when it's sold out and we're welcome back and everyone had fun. That's a hell of a failure. Or just a dumb comment, whichever one you want to look at. And then Destination Pro, it looks like I'm going to be busy up there. That's if I'm even welcome back in the city. Who knows? I'll be returning to freelance later in September and then also in October. I got a couple things planned, but the one thing I'll throw out there real quick is when Halloween approaches, I should have some fun wrestling related Halloween stuff all October long, which is good. Stuff does kind of fill up a little bit, and I'm already looking forward to some things in 2024. Not a lot. I try not to plan too far ahead because you just never know. You never know. Things are unpredictable. I'm unpredictable. You never know what could happen, what could switch. But one thing that will always be is that I will be here to entertain all of you. You know, that's up to me too. I mean, I can't do this forever. I mean, like we just said, R.I.P. Terry Funk. Your career, if I have half the career that you did, I would be impressed. I would be more than happy. Again, rest in peace, Terry Funk. And thank you for watching. This is CorbinCenter.